Good evening, guys. Welcome to the session. This is SBI Clerk Mains Model Test 76, an easy paper. Not all the questions, about 10 questions made trouble out of 40 questions, but 30 questions should not be a problem. The first 10 questions, they deal with the passage. What is this passage about? It is about news, initially how it started, word of the mouth publicity, after that manual, after that printing press, then your newspapers, evolution of the newspaper, where it started, how it started, and which paper has been considered in the true sense the newspaper, and questions related to this particular passage. Almost all the questions are based on explicit information. You should be able to answer effortlessly. Here, what did language evolve into? The answer is the second option, 1 and 3. What is the first one here? Literacy. And third one, writing. Answer is 1 and 3. Second option is the answer, clearly mentioned in the passage. Where was the first weekly newspaper published in 1604? Here, all that you have to do, go to the passage, look for this time, and you find the answer. Answer is the fourth option, Germany. The next one, what were the 4 tenets satisfied by? Here, this one, 4 tenets, you see 4 options, and the fifth one says all of the above. For this, you don't have to read the passage, you don't have to go to the passage. All that you have to do, go for the fifth option, all of the above. What is the reason? 4 tenets. Tenets means the foundation, the ideas, the ideals, the values or principles. 4. They have given the 4 options, and the fifth option says all of the above. Obviously, that is the answer. Question number 54. Where was the first English newspaper published in 1665? Again, go to the passage, look for this year, then you find the answer. England is the answer. All these questions are rather easy based on explicit information. Question number 55. Which newspaper is considered, as should not be there, which newspaper is considered the first true newspaper by the World Association of Newspapers? Again, mentioned clearly in the passage, the answer is a relation. That is considered the first true newspaper. Question number 56. When a newspaper moved to London in 1666, what was it renamed? Again, you should go to the passage, look for London in 1666. The answer is London Gazette. That is the answer. Which among the following is most similar in meaning to the word disseminating? The word dissemination goes with information. Actually, it means spreading information. But here, it is circulation. Today, I'm not going to give the meanings of so many words. In fact, there are so many words, 100 plus words. And it will not, this 60 minutes, not possible to tell the meanings of all those words. What I'm going to do, I'm going to give the answer and the exact word. If the question, if it demands, then I'll give the meaning of that particular word. Otherwise, no. And 10 questions, new pattern. They're definitely questions. Each question, I think 2 pairs. That means 10 questions, 10 into 2. 50. So many questions are there. 5 pairs, in fact. 5 pairs into 10, 50. So it takes a lot of time. But answers, I'm going to give the meanings. You should understand. It takes about 2 or 3 hours to give the meanings for all those words. Practically not possible. Which among the following is most similar in meaning? Accessibility. Generally, we use the word access. It takes a preposition to. Access to power, access to authority, access to something. So here answer is approachability. Access to someone, access to something. You can approach that someone or that something. Which among the following is most opposite in meaning to the word evolved? Evolve means change, constant change. And what is opposite? Another meaning of evolve, to progress, to improve, to progress. And opposite, it should be diminish. Opposite meaning diminish. Here it does not mean change, it means progress. Please take the word progress. And what is opposite of progress? Diminish. That is the answer. Which among the following is most opposite in meaning to the word existed? Exist, not existed. What is the answer? Cease. Cease means what? Not to stop existing. Cease means stop existing. That means opposite of exist, cease. Now the question 61 to 70. What are these about? Close test. Again, a lot of options and so many words, so many meanings. But you may find it a little difficult. Always remember, contextual awareness. When you come across options which are not easy to understand, in my opinion, the best way to answer, the best way to handle, contextual awareness. And all these questions based on contextual awareness, previous set, how many questions? 10 questions. All the 10 you can answer from the passage. Now this also, all the 10 you can answer. That means what? 10 plus 10, 20 assured, plus or minus 1 or 2. Let us have a look at this particular passage, close test, and based on contextual awareness, how to get all the 10. As international oil prices head higher, India will have to itself for the economic risks of expensive energy. The answer here, brace itself for. Brace means to get ready for and also to accept, to adopt and to take into consideration. The right word here is brace itself for the economic risks of expensive energy. This is a rally of about 55% in a matter of just months. Oil price, 62, have often been explained. Oil price dynamics. When you see the options, some word you have to feel comfortable. Here the right word, oil price dynamics, so have often been explained by changes in the supply outlook influenced by the decisions of major oil producers. Dynamics, oil price dynamics, influenced by the decisions of major oil producers. Contextual awareness, otherwise, imagine you have to select. Please listen very carefully. If you have to select on the basis of all these options, a dynamic, aegis, backward, armor, first you have to know the meanings. Only then you can decide. Again, if you take barricade, redoubt, rampart, protection, palisade, parapet, bastille, and finished, you have to know the meanings. Only then you can answer. And you have to check every word. That takes a lot of time. Instead of that, imagine you know the context. When you read a lot, you know the context. Then you don't have to look at the other words. Have a look. You don't have to know the meanings of other words. Quite confidently, you can decide. Here it is brace itself for a particular situation, a standard expression. And it is easy. Oil price dynamics. And here, influenced by the decisions of major oil producers. You feel comfortable. But if you have to check all the words, that takes a lot of time. You may not know the meaning of so many options, then you cannot decide. Oil trading at $70 should offer some to traditional oil producers like the OPEC members, which have suffered. When someone suffers, then they need a break. What is the answer here? Respite. Oil trading at $70 should offer some respite. Respite means a break, a pause from something that is negative or something that is not positive. Respite from the work, respite from the hardships, respite from trouble. Respite to traditional oil producers like the OPEC members, which have suffered of US shale producers. Respite to traditional oil producers like the OPEC members, which have suffered the onslaught. What is the answer here? Onslaught of US shale producers. If you ask me, sir, how can you decide? I don't even bother to look at the options. Based on this context, I know at the most 1 or 2 blanks I may have a look, but I know this is not correct, this is not correct, this is not correct, this is not correct. When I see the word respite, I know for sure that is the answer. When I see the word onslaught of US shale producers, I know for sure that is the answer. No second thoughts. There is no blank over here. Consumers in India are already beginning to feel the pinch as petrol and diesel prices have hit multi-year highs. The retail selling price of both petrol and diesel in Delhi, for instance, has risen by close to I think it is dollar a liter, rupees, talking about Indian context, since of 2018. Before I see the options, I will think of one particular expression. Since the beginning of 2018. If you read the newspapers, you come across this expression, since the beginning of 2018, since the beginning of the 21st century, since the beginning of so-and-so time. It's a standard expression, since the beginning of, a standard phrase. I know for sure that is, so based on that, answer is the second option. I will not bother to look at, when I think since the beginning of, before I see the options, then quick glance, I know for sure this is the answer. You can reach, if you ask me, sir, can we reach that stage where, without seeing the options, we can think of a few words and then we decide we choose the correct word? Yes, you can reach that stage. Then comes the question, how? If you read a lot, extensive reading, all these things you can answer, and you don't have to worry about the meanings of these words. No need at all. Then the rise in domestic fuel prices is on expected lines given the policy of dynamic daily pricing of petrol and diesel by the center. Here again, adopted by the center. Other words are not relevant here. Adopted by the center is the exact word. But as rising oil prices put pressure on domestic consumers, the government will have to continue or desist. Here you may get a little confused, but there's one clue for you. From, desist from, means resist from what? Resorting to. Again, one more clue for you, the preposition to. Based on these two, here a bit of grammar knowledge is required, but without that also, based on contextual awareness, desist from resorting to subsidies to ease the pain. Very simple. And once you select these words, you don't have to get, you will not feel a little disturbed, and you know for sure this is the right word, this is the right word. And there's one more thing to reinforce your belief, the preposition from, the preposition to. Desist from, resorting to, don't resort to. A typical prepositional combination, resort to something. Here, resort to subsidies. Generally, we say resort to violence, resort to something. It should work towards rationalizing taxes on petrol and diesel to bring down retail prices. This will help consumers without what? An undue burden. Here, obviously, without imposing an undue burden on the oil marketing companies. Impose, to force, to thrust upon. Will help consumers without imposing an undue burden on oil marketing companies. That's it. I don't know how many of you feel comfortable with this style of new. Usually I don't explain this way. I take every option. I tell students to eliminate, take the elimination approach. Then I give the meaning. Then I say it is not relevant. It doesn't go with the context. But today I cannot do that because so many words, 60 minutes not possible. And you have to, my suggestion, after the session, refer the dictionary. So many words are there, and I'm sure you can learn about 50 words which go with effective English. But again here, if you ask me, sir, without knowing the meanings of these words, now how many blanks? 10 blanks. Each blank 5 words. 50 words. And you have to know, you have to select 10. That means what? 40 words. If you know the meanings, you can decide all the 10. But usually that chances are less to know all the 50 words. If you know all the 50 words, you can. Otherwise, not practically possible. Then what is the best way? What is the ideal way in a situation like this? Contextual awareness. Even if you ask me, sir, do you know all these words? I may say 1 or 2 words, even I have to refer the dictionary. But still I can get all the 10 correct. What is the reason? Based on contextual awareness. I know for sure this is the answer, this is the answer. I want you guys to reach that stage, especially mains point of view, that is ideal. Now we'll go to 71 to 80. In my opinion, these are very difficult, not at all easy. Here you see each question, how many words? 5 pairs, that means 10. 10 into 10, 100 words you come across. Each question you have 5 pairs, that means 5 into 2, 10, and 10 questions, 10 into 10. That's why I said I cannot give the meanings of all these words. 100 words here, and close test 50, 150 150 words. Practically impossible to give the meanings of all these words in 60 minutes. Not possible. I will give the meanings of here the answers, whatever the answer, those words, the meaning definitely I will give. Let us go to question number 71. First I will give the answer. 71, the answer is the fourth option. We'll check. But what are the instructions? You see 3 sentences here, 1, 2, 3. And you have to select the first word. It goes with the first sentence and the second sentence. And the second word, that goes with the third sentence. I say the answer is the fourth option. He glanced at his cousin and the young lady visitor, and they were both regarding him with a smile of approbation. Approbation means appreciation, praise. Please listen very carefully. These I will give the meaning. Approbation means praise or appreciation. And she looked for some sign of approbation from her parents, hoping her good grades would please them. It goes with first sentence as well as the second sentence. Let us go to the third sentence. The attorney came up with several far-fetched arguments in a vain to attempt to buttress his weak case. Buttress means support or strengthen. This is also right. So what is the answer? The answer is the fourth option. Now 72. The answer is the first option. First I'll give the answer, then I will tell the meanings of those 2 words. He was interested in everything and asked me a place and its surroundings questions about the myriad. Myriad means many things. She was like a forest, like the dark interlacing of the oak wood, humming inaudibly with myriad unfolding buds. Again, many, a lot. The next one, although few people realized it, the Dow Jones averages had reached their what? Nadir. It is nadir. It is not nadir, nadir. And would soon begin an upward surge. Nadir means the lowest point. This is also the right word. And would soon begin an upward surge, means upward movement. Answer is the first option. Existing 73, what is the answer? Third option is the answer. Existing arrangements contain, replaced by the reformer, functions that can be neither seen nor latent. Latent means hidden. Seen, you can see something. What is opposite? You cannot see something. And what is the right word for that? Latent. Latent means hidden. Hidden means cannot be seen. So it goes with the first sentence. I addressed myself to one of the 2 warders who I suspected from certain latent indications in their faces. Hidden indications. This also goes with the second sentence. If we could identify these revolutionary movements in their nascent, means initial stage. Nascent is an important word. Beginning, initial, growing stage. So what is the answer based on that? The third option is the answer. The storm was, this is a bit difficult. I had known from the time when I could speak that my sister, in her violent coercion, was unjust to me. Here actually it is, the answer is, where is the word? Capricious. Answer is the fourth one. 74, the answer is fourth one, capricious. What is the meaning of capricious? Capricious means constantly changing. Constantly changing. And generally there is a saying, you can also think of the word fickle-minded, always changing. A great philosopher once said, nothing is more capricious than the human mind. Nothing is more capricious than the human mind. Our thoughts always change. So capricious, an important word. The storm was capricious, constantly changing. Her capricious and violent coercion. Coercion means force. It goes with the first one. The second one, it goes with the first one. Her siege of illness left her, the blank is here, and pallid. Here it is languid. Languid means weak. What does it mean? Weak. So it is correct. What is the answer based on that? The fourth option is the answer. 75. Answer is first option. Laconic. Many of the characters portrayed by Clint Eastwood are men of few words. Laconic types, strong men of few words. They have given the meaning also. Van Helsing is laconic. He tells the farmers that he is hurrying to Biarritz and pays them well to make the exchange of horses. Now, laconic means to say a few words, only a few words. And it goes with already strong men of few words. It goes with this also. Juxtaposition, juxtapose, means what? To place two opposite things next to each other. Usually this goes with painting. Imagine an exhibition, painting exhibition or photography exhibition. You go to an art gallery. One particular frame you see black and white photographs, next to them color photographs. Then we say the black and white photographs have been juxtaposed with color photographs. Means what? They have been placed next to each other. Different things, opposite things are placed next to each other. It is a result of the juxtaposition of contrasting colors. Contrasting colors have been juxtaposed. This is the right word. What is the answer? The first option is the answer. Now 76, the second option. Florid has got 2 or 3 meanings, and one of the meanings, florid means it goes with complexion, reddish complexion. If you go to beach and get a sunburn, your complexion will look florid. This is a bit difficult to answer because there is another meaning, florid, related to floral pattern. Flowers, floral pattern, we also use the word florid. The second meaning of florid, reddish complexion, goes with complexion. Here it talks about complexion, that is right. Their style is clear, masculine and smooth, but not florid, for they avoid nothing more than multiplying unnecessary words or using various expressions. So it goes with this also. The court will exculpate him of the crime after the real criminal confesses. The blank is here. Exculpate, to declare someone is not guilty, to declare someone is innocent. The court will declare that person innocent or declare that person is not guilty once the real criminal confesses. Answer is the second option. In her lengthy, what is the answer for the 77, fifth option? Harangue. In her lengthy harangue, the principal berated the offenders. Harangue means lengthy speech, a very lengthy speech. It goes with the principal, lengthy speech. The eyes of the neighbors were expectantly upon him as they settled themselves in easier positions for a long harangue, for a long speech. I have always been friendly to Martha. Why is she so inimical to me? Inimical means shy, modest, not opening up. It goes with the third sentence. What is the answer here? The fifth option is the answer. He stopped to the evil of hypocrisy with others, skeptical of their innocence, which he could. 78, the answer is the second option, which he could cajole easily. Diane tried to cajole her father into letting her drive the family car. Cajole means what? Persuade, to make out. Another meaning, to persuade. In a nice manner, you persuade someone to do something, then we use the word cajole. And what is the third one? Distrusting Huck from the start, Miss Watson assumed he was mendacious and refused to believe a word he said. Mendacious, here the blank is here, that is right. It means always telling lies. Someone has a habit of telling lies. Then we use the word mendacious. Answer is the second option. 79, the answer is the third option. What is the third option? Maelstrom. The canoe was tossed about in the maelstrom. It had to leave the dangerous water quickly. Paris is a maelstrom where everything is lost. What is the meaning of this? Here you cannot take the literal meaning. Maelstrom means a whirlpool. Whirlpool means what? Whirlwind also. Water goes round and round, it is called whirlpool. And wind goes round and round, we call it whirlwind. So that's what it means. It goes with the first sentence as well as the second sentence. And what is the next one? Impinge. Through one of the broken panes, I heard the rain impinge upon the earth. The fine, incessant needles of water playing in the sodden beds. Impinge means to make a negative impact. impinge, negative impact. Answer is the third option. She was the last one, fifth option, demure. Demure means what? Again, shy. Demure also, I'm sorry, inimical. Where is this inimical? Inimical means hostile. Hostile. Here it is, demure means shy. She was demure and reserved, both more or less the same. And the second one, James Wilder, demure and courtly. It goes with the second sentence as well. And modicum. Modicum, although his story is based on a modicum of truth. Modicum means a small quantity of something that is very important, like truth or honesty. In this context, a truth. Small quantity of something, especially something important, something good, honesty or truth. And I hope you guys understand it is not practically possible to give the meanings of all these words. It takes a lot of time. But I suggest after the session, for example, destitute, a very poor person, destitutes of Calcutta. Mother Teresa worked on the destitutes in and around Calcutta. For that, she got the Nobel Prize. And important word like that, castigate, important word, extol, important word. What I suggest, after the session, please refer all these words and try to, you can maintain, it is like once you spend time on all these words, you will get a mini dictionary. What is the reason? Close, you got 550 words, and the previous set 100. There itself 150 words. And if you go to the passage and the paper, entire mock test paper, I'm sure you will get another 25 or 50. The number could be about 175 or 200. Definitely worth spending time. Many of those words go with effective English. Let us go to the next one. What is this about? Parajumble. Should not be a problem, rather easy. What is the first one? What is this about? It is about when we encounter problems, how to respond. When we encounter problems in life, we must not allow them to overwhelm us. This is the first sentence. And what is the second sentence? The reason why shouldn't we allow them to overwhelm us, behind each problem, there is a means to surmount it too. This is the second sentence, BA. Behind each problem, the first sentence talks about when we encounter, when we come across face to face problems in life, we must not allow them to overwhelm us. Why? Behind each problem, there is a means to surmount it too. That means every problem has a solution. Every problem has a solution. This is what I usually say. And what is the third one? Understanding this, we must continue striving. Strive is an important word, means to work very hard. So what is the third sentence? C is the third sentence. You got BAC, one idea. When we encounter, we should not allow those problems to overwhelm. What is the reason? Every problem has a solution. We can overcome them. And understanding this, we must continue. BAC. The next one, F is the next one. We must regard the obstacles, the hurdles, the problems as consequences of actions done in a past life. F is the next one. That is the fourth one. And what is the next one? D is or. We must regard the obstacles as consequences of actions done in a past life, or we could empower the mind to accept whatever happens as God's will. This is the fifth one. He talks about how to look at the problems. We must regard the obstacles as consequences of actions done in past life, in a past life, or we could empower the mind to accept whatever happens as God's will. FD. And what is the next one? It is only then we can move ahead. When we accept this, we can move ahead. FDE. And this is the last sentence. What is the last sentence? G is the last sentence. If not, we won't find even one trouble-free moment in life. Every moment we have to suffer, we have to struggle. If we don't adopt that philosophy, every moment becomes miserable. So here BAC, one idea, FDE, one idea, and G, the last sentence. This is the correct order. What is it? Seventh one. These are rather easy, should not be a problem, 86 to 90. First, I'll read the instructions. In each question given below, a sentence is given and is divided into three parts, 1, 2, and 3. For each part, a correction statement is also given. You have to determine which part requires correction and select it as your answer. To read Naipaul, to listen to him, to follow his life. I will read the parts. To read Naipaul, to listen to him, to follow its life story or his life story. What is the answer here? It should be his life story. Let us see. Was to be. Here, his life story we don't have to touch. Wherever there is an error, we have to consider that one. Its life story is not correct. His life story is correct. Was to be perpetually nudged to reassess not just him, but also his subject matters and one's own view of the world. There is an error here. The instructions are a little confusing, but all that you have to do, look at the first part, second part, third part, see wherever there is an error, you have to select that one. Here, perpetual nudged is not correct. It should be perpetually nudged. There is an error here and this is the correct form. Answer is what based on that? Answer is the fourth option. Second part is not correct. That has to be corrected. What is the corrected expression? To be perpetually nudged. Adverb. We have to use adverb. Whether the changes adopted to the court while finalizing a new constitution for the BCCI differ in significant ways from what was proposed by the Lodha committee will be a matters of debate. Here, nothing wrong with this. Whether the changes adopted to the court while finalizing a new, this is right, constitution for the BCCI differ in significant ways from what was proposed by the Lodha committee will be a matter of debate. So matters is not correct. Previous one also I'll strike off. Perpetual not correct, perpetually correct. So here matters is not correct, matter is correct. That means what? Only 3. Which option says only 3? Whether the changes adopted okay. There's one more error here. Whether the changes adopted to is not correct. It should be by the court. And here matter is not correct, matter is correct. That means what? 1 and 3. Which option says? Second option is the answer. 1 and 3. Aristotle believed that the best way to understand why things are the way they were is to understand what purpose they were designed to serve. Aristotle believed that the best way to understand, nothing wrong with that, the best way to understand why things are the way they are is to understand why things are the way they are, not were. Are is correct. What purpose they were designed to serve. That means there is only one error. Were is not correct, are is correct. Answer is only 3. Peacocks aren't just pretty. They are pretty good at surviving. So peacocks aren't just pretty, they are pretty good at surviving. No problem with that. Bhopal-based scientists have found after they sequenced, no problem here, the entire peacock genome for the first time and compared it to other birds. So here, peacocks aren't just pretty, they're pretty good by surviving. No, at surviving is correct. Bhopal-based scientists had found. No, have found. Had is not. This is correct. And this is not correct. You don't have to touch. After they sequenced the entire peacock genomes. Oh, here genome is correct, not genomes. This is correct. For the first time and compared it to other birds. What does it mean? All the parts are correct. The sentence is correct. None of these. Answer is the fifth option. The studies of the Dravidian languages, not studies, study. This is wrong, this is right. The study of the Dravidian languages is crucial for understanding prehistory in Eurasia, as they had played a significant role as they played a significant role. Here we don't have to use had, not required. As they played a significant role influencing other language groups. The study of Dravidian languages is crucial for understanding prehistory in Eurasia. Why? As they played a significant role influencing other languages. I think study is not correct, study is correct. Answer is, the first one is correct. That's all about today's paper. A tough paper. Now I will spend 5 minutes on this. Usually I spend 60 minutes. Now I think it's only 35 minutes. I would like to spend 5 minutes on this paper. This paper is like an eye-opener. Eye-opener. What does it mean? Usually I tell students, you have to read a lot, especially for mains, and you have to know the context, very important, and also you should be very good at vocabulary. Now imagine a paper where you have 150 plus effective words. It is definitely daunting, intimidating, frightening, and the moment you see a paper like this, I'm sure you will get the shock of your life, and you will panic. The context, not familiar context, words, 150 words you have to know. At least you should know the context. And 150 words, many of these words, even those who are very good at English, they may not know, frankly speaking. They may, at least in my opinion, 10 to 20 words they have to refer the dictionary. Even those who are very good at English, they have to refer the dictionary. So practically not possible to know the one. And if you take a language learner, if you take a student, a candidate may know about 50 words. I'm sure 150 words may not know. The candidates may not know. Then what are you supposed to do? Imagine out of 150 words, you know 50 words, you don't know 100 words. Then what are you supposed to do? How will you answer all these questions? And this paper I said, let me go back to somewhere I said, you should get 20. Here I said 20. First 10 questions you can get. After that you can get 10, 20. After that, these are rather difficult, 71 to 80. But again, based on contextual awareness, you should get about 5. All the 10 not possible. 5 you can. 20 plus 5, 25. And after that, this is also very difficult. I don't think you can get 25 plus. These are easy. You should get 30, practically speaking. But if you panic when you see all these words, you cannot get 30 also. You may end up getting about 20. So whenever you come across a tough paper, do remember, try to give your best. Don't panic. Then instead of 20, you will be able to get 30. It will make a lot of difference. And coming to the point, this paper is an eye-opener. Why is it an eye-opener? Students, a lot of students, I don't say everyone, quite often I tell them, when I come to the explanation, when I go for explanation, a mock test paper, I tell them, don't come for answers. That is not the purpose. Answers, the key is there. 1 or 2 key here and there problems, but the key is there. You don't have to come. You have to attend the session to enrich your knowledge and to learn how to tackle these questions. When you come across a paper like this, definitely should know how to handle a paper like this. Tomorrow you may get a paper like this where 150 words, effective words, out of which you know 50, 100 you don't know. What will you do? You can't panic. You can't afford to panic. Then you should be prepared. What is that preparation? You should have that contextual awareness. Once you have that contextual awareness, out of 40, a paper like this, 30, outstanding, outstanding. And a typical candidate may get 7, in the range of 7 and 10, or at the most between 10 and 15, not more than that. Where is the range 10 and 15, and where is 30? That makes a lot of difference. That's what precisely I call competitive edge. And there's no guarantee you will get the same paper, but you may get a similar paper where you come across a lot of words. One thing, they trouble you. Another thing, unfamiliar context, they trouble. Then how to make the unfamiliar context familiar, read extensively. How to know a lot of words, at least 80%. Again, read a lot, two things happen. One is you get contextual awareness, you develop your reading comprehension skill. Another benefit, it's like two birds at one shot. What is the other benefit? You learn words, you come across combinations, you come across word forms, word usage, collocations, and you learn vocabulary, obviously. That will help you in the exam when you come across a paper like this. A very good paper. Again, I would like to suggest you guys, because of the time factor, time constraint, I could not give the meanings of so many words, 100 plus words. What I suggest, after the session, take a notebook and go through the paper. I'm sure you will get 100 plus words, effective words, write the meanings, and try to create word profiles. That will help you in the long run. Thank you very much.